morning, my friends, and welcome to I Can Read Black Stories, Story Time. Thank you for joining me today, and we're going to get started. If you can extend your hands out, we're going to warm them up and we're going to get ready for our Open Shut Them song. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. Open, shut them. Open, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. Open, shut them. Open, shut them. Lay them in your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, crawl them. Creep them, crawl them. Right up to your chin, chin, chin. Open wide your little mouth, but do not let them in. Creep them, crawl them, creep them, crawl them, right back down again. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Now our story begins. Very good. Thank you. Very good. So today I'm going to attempt to read three books, and these books are still in our collection at the library, but they're very older books that was written a long time ago. But guys, I really love those older books. I keep them all the time with me, and sometimes you just like to go back and read things, or you like to go back and revisit certain things. And this week I had a memory week where I went back and I revisited some things that I have at home that my grandmother, who's no longer with me, that she left me. And so when I looked at all of those different souvenirs and artifacts and different things that she left, I came up with these books to read for you today. Okay, so I hope you enjoy them. The first book is called The Talking Cloth, and it is by Rhonda Mitchell. Rhonda wrote the story and she drew the pictures. Aunt Phoebe has things, things, things. And you see Aunt Phoebe's house? Phoebe's house looked just like my sister's house. She collects all kind of artifacts and different things from where she goes, or she buys a lot of African statues. A collector of life, Mom calls her. Daddy says she lives in a junk pile. Reminds me of your room, Amber, he says. And when my children goes, or all of the nieces and nephew goes to my sister's house, those are some of the same things you see. I like visiting Aunt Phoebe. There's no place in her house to be bored. And she always gives me mocha to drink. Daddy says it will stunt my growth. Aunt Phoebe tells him mocha is named after a city in Yemen. And this child just grew an inch or two inside just for knowing that. You see, you grow regardless to your height, but in knowledge. Aunt Phoebe knows things. She tells me stories about her collection of life each time we visit. I sip hot mocha and listen, imagining all the people and places she has seen. Today we sit in her kitchen and she tells about the basket of folded clothes in the corner. I bought these in Africa, she says. Daddy laughs. I figured that was laundry you hadn't put away. That daddy, he's something else. Aunt Phoebe smiles and takes a cloth from the top of the basket. She unfolds it with a flourish, a long magic carpet. It runs like a white river across the floor. That's a beautiful piece of cloth. What do you do with such a long cloth? I ask. You wear it, says Aunt Phoebe. It tells how you are feeling. This cloth talks. Huh? How can it do that? by its colors and what the symbols mean. Aunt Phoebe tells me this is this is uh, and a Decra cloth from Guyana. It's made by the Ashanti people, and at one time, or royalty wore it, she says. Aunt Phoebe rubs the cloth against my face. It's silk and it feels smooth. I imagine myself an Ashanti princess. The cloth is embroidered in sections and hand printed all over with small black symbols like words. A white cloth means joy, a yellow gold or riches. Green stands for newness and growth. Blue is a sign of love, but red is worn only for sad times like funerals or during the war. Maybe I should wear red when your daddy comes to visit, Aunt Phoebe says. Daddy laughs and pours himself some mocha. He likes to listen too. I know it. You can't help but to listen. Aunt Phoebe tells the meaning of some symbols on her cloth. One says, except God, I fear none. G Ayanme. That's what that symbol means there. Another is called Obinika Obai. I offend no one without cause. Each symbol speaks of something different, like faith, power, or love. So these are two different symbols that's on the Adinkra cloth. I imagine cloths with my own symbols on them, Fred. Fred, he's my little brother. He should be dressed in green for go. He's on the go all the time with grubby little handprints all over. Everyone can see what kind of a mess that kid is. Aunt Phoebe's little brother is my daddy. Let's see, she says. Yes, we could wrap him in gray pinstripe cloth for seriousness with squares on it. We all laugh, imagining that. I ask if I can put on the Adikra cloth. Of course you can, baby. Aunt Phoebe says, when you're older, you can have it for your own. She wraps the Adinkra 3 times around my waist, then across my shoulder, and still it drags on the ground. A cloth this long is a sign of wealth, she tells me. Daddy says, Amber, you need to drink a lot more mocha to grow tall enough. Well, says Aunt Phoebe, this child has grown a lot inside just today. I love visiting my family members and learning about all different kind of things. I smile. Thinking of it, this cloth means joy. I am an Ashanti princess now, and here is all my family and everyone who has ever worn an adinkra gathers around me. Let me show that picture. And she has a big smile, looking just like a princess, an African princess, and all of the villagers and community is around her. That's a beautiful picture. And that's the end. Wow, an adinkra cloth. There the adinkra cloth. It's symbols that use. It's fabric that use symbols, and you see them on walls or pottery. Sometimes jewelry. I usually use wear a certain earring, so you will see them, but long time ago they were worn by special people like kings and queens, and then at special times like funerals and special other programs or events that they had to go through. And the cloth comes from a tree, from the tree bark, and they do something with it, and all of a sudden they mix it together and they begin to make the symbols and the different cloths. Now, today, everyone wears it. It doesn't matter if you're a king or a queen, you can wear it. Now, I feel sometimes like a princess, and that's why I have my own cloth, if you can see it. And it has a variety, a lot of colors and symbols in it. So for me, I just take it as the blue means water. And when you see the black, it represents the people. The green means life, and the yellow means the sun. And I can either wear it on my head or I can wrap it on me. Sometimes if I wear a nice black dress and I can wrap it on me and I just feel like a princess, like I'm representing, and it is so nice. And the fabric is very nice and soft, just like it was on Phoebe. So I hope you enjoyed that story, and I'm going to get right to my next story. My next story is called The Quilt, and it is by Anne Jonas. I have a new quilt. It's to go on my new grown up bed. And guys, I don't know if you all have this or your mother or your grandmother, but these were the quilts that we used to use. And I have one tucked away. Some of it is starting to come loose, but I still have it. My mother and father made it for me. They used some of my old things. Here are my first curtains and my crib sheet. Sally is lying on my baby pajamas. And you see her sister, Sally? So she's saying the part that Sally is lying on or laying on, that's where her pajamas, her mother cut the cloth from her pajamas and she made that part with that. So each one of these resembles something or something that they used to have. Maybe her dad's shirt, the first curtain. You see all of that? And you can make one too yourself. That's the shirt I wore on my second birthday. This piece is from my favorite pants. They got too small. The cloth my mother used to make Sally is here somewhere. I can't find it now. But she is having a going back down memory lane with that blanket, just calling out all of the different pieces that they used to make it. This is a very nice idea if you and your family would come together and everyone brings something. Now I don't know who sews, but you can either have it made or come together and each one sew something that connects to them right there on that cloth. I know I won't be able to go to sleep tonight. It almost looks like a little brown. That's her at night. Hey, I can't find Sally. Maybe she's here. Sally. She's looking for Sally on her blanket. She wouldn't like it there. Sally. What if someone took her home? Sally. Sally, where are you? If she hid here, I'll never find her. Sally, where are you? She's looking all around her blanket. What a scary tunnel. I'll run through fast. Sally, Sally, Sally. She's running through. On her blanket, there's something that looks just like a tunnel. She wouldn't be here. She doesn't like water. You see, there are so many different patterns on her blanket. This is worse than the tunnel, Sally. Please, Sally, I'm looking for you. I see her. Good morning, Sally. And that is the end of that book. Oh my goodness, I love that book. It reminds me again of something my grandmother created as well, which was that blanket that I have tucked away. And she used so much like the dress that I have on. If she would have been here today, she would have once this dress get too little or worn, tattered and torn, she would cut a piece out and she'll start putting things together and she'll make one of all things Teresa and she'll make one for someone else, all of their old different things. And that's just a lot of love put all into that blanket. Now, I'm going to do a show and share with you of some artifacts and souvenirs, different things. This is something that was given to me, and it is a statue that I keep, an African statue of my heritage. So I keep a lot of things like this, or when I see it, if I go to certain events and I can buy them, I buy them. There was once this was given to me. It reminded me of myself and my sisters. Here's the little one because I'm the youngest. And I've had it for such a long time. You can tell that the colors are kind of going out of it, but it reminds me of Africa, just like in the first book we read, Our People. And all of these different patterns look like something that my grandmother would probably use. And just like in the first book, Phoebe, she would sit down with her grandma, with her aunt, and have um, cocoa. And I would do the same, but only with the things my grandmother left me, which is a cup. We would have coffee, and this is the saucer that she would put it in. So I love these things, and I collect them, and I keep them, and I make sure I take care of them because they are memories of people that I love. And my last book I'm going to read is called Our People. And this story is by Angela Chef Medeiros. And guys, I hope you sit down and talk with your family. Um, Try to pick days out the week and put down phones and different things and just have family time. These are what these three books are about. Spending time with your family and finding out all you need to find out and look around and see some of the things that might become yours and you'll keep them in a safe place. Okay? Daddy says our people built pyramids. I wish I could have been there. I would have helped them with the plans. I'm like her. And you can take your blocks at home or Legos and you can build a pyramid yourself. And it can remind you of the pyramids that were built by our people long time ago. Daddy says our people were kings and queens in Africa. He says some of our people were poets and mathematicians, and some were artists who carved beautiful statues, just like the statues. Here's my other statue right there. I wish I could have been there. I would have been sitting on a throne, or maybe I would have been an artist. So you can pretend and sit on the throne and be whatever you want to be, a king or a queen. And then you can be an artist and draw a picture of somebody that you know, somebody famous or somebody in your family or somebody in your neighborhood. You can be anything you want to be. All you have to do is put your mind to it. And it begins with play. Mhm. Daddy says our people traveled across the ocean with Christopher Columbus and explored America with Balboa, Ponce de Leon, and Lewis and Clark. I wish I could have explored new worlds with them. See, she has the mind to want to do it, and she still can explore. There's still more things in this big old world to explore. Daddy says our people suffered under slavery, but men and women like Frederick Douglass, William Steele, Harriet Tubman, and Sojourner Truth led our people to freedom. So again, walking back down memory lane, we'll never forget what those people did for us. I wish I could have been there. I would have led my people to freedom too. Oh, yes. Now that's a big one there. To be like Harriet Tubman with the Underground Railroad and Sojourner Truth. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? Look at there. And she's pretending that she's doing it. That's a beautiful picture there. And just the thought of her thinking of doing it. Daddy says our people came out of slavery with nothing but hope, but that our people became anything they wanted to be. Some were politicians, some started businesses, and some became teachers and doctors. Our people farmed the land, and some went out to the wild and to the wild, wild west. And they did. And we can too. I wish I had been there. I would have gone out west too. Giddy up, Daddy, giddy up. See, she's having fun. Oh my goodness. And guys, if you don't know anything about the Black Cowboys, look them up. We even have I know on my Facebook page I have some black cowgirls and I plan on seeing them really, really, really soon. I'm interested in that. Oh, let me look. Look here. She crossed out the word cowboys and wrote cowgirl, Girl, because that's what she is, a cowgirl. Daddy says that our people created inventions that are still used today. He says that every time we stop at a stoplight or change a light bulb, we're using something our people invented. He says that Garrett A. Morgan and Lewis Latimer, Dr. George Washington Carver, and Dr. Charles Drew discovered some amazing scientific things to help all of humankind. And they did. And you can read about them all at the library. I don't care which location you go to, you can read them all there. I wish I could have been there. I would have created some amazing things too. Guys, look at there. She's trying out something that she had never done before. And you can too. Daddy says our people have had a glorious past, but that I have a glorious future. He says I can still build things and make beautiful things, explore new worlds, and help people who are suffering, which is so true. We have a lot of suffering today. Daddy says there are still plenty of things that need to be invented. He says I can even be a cowgirl if I want to. And I say that you, if you're watching, I'm talking about you. You can too. I can hardly wait. I want to do something great, just like the rest of our people. And guys, we have a lot of greatness in our people. We have a lot of different people, doctors, lawyers, politicians, preachers, people that work on computers. I mean, whatever it is, we have it all within our own culture. And we do want you to do and become more and be more, whatever you dream of or whatever you think of becoming. You can do it. Take your time. But it begins even today, as small as you are, with play. Pretend you are that person now. See yourself being whoever it is that you want to be. And I believe that you're going to be it. Okay, so that ends my story time for today. We're going to close out with open and shut them again. Are you ready? Open, shut them, open, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Lay them in your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, crawl them, creep them, crawl them. Right up to your chin, chin, chin. Open wide your little mouth, but do not let them in. Creep them, crawl them, creep them, crawl them, right back down again. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Now our stories will end. Thank you and have a wonderful day today.